Okay, it is 11:11, and welcome everyone to another Wednesday transmission of Blessings from the Dragon. We meet here every Wednesday for Jadon Se to read the energies of those present and give activations and blessings as necessary or as appropriate, and to respond to any requests. And if you have any requests for blessings or clarification of the energies or readings, we ask that you post those in the chat in uppercase. It's fine to chat with amongst yourselves otherwise. So good morning. I am Stephen, the
This is
channeler,
Stephanie. Welcome.
and we are here again, and we'll let everyone get settled in, and then we'll do shout outs because that's always so fun to do. And until everyone kind of gets tuned in and tuned up, so to speak, we'll just make our usual announcements. And the first announcement is that Class 1 of the Level 2 classes has been completed. And I think those who are in it are really enjoying it. Jadon Se is certainly enjoying this new class. It's been really great to bring it through and channel it through and build the slides and get all the information together, and it's pretty amazing stuff. I think it's going to be life-changing for some of you. So we won't be offering this class again until April. So those of you who are not in the class, that's the next chance to sign up. We'll probably be making announcements in late February, or sorry, late March about that class. And for those of you who have not taken the level 1 class, that's a prerequisite for the level 2. Also a really great class and a lot of information, a lot of things to play with and timeline jumping and all of that. And it can also be very life-changing. So if you want to sign up for the level 1 classes, we will be announcing enrollment for that within a week or so. And those will start in February. And we will be hosting them here. We may be hosting some other classes out on other platforms, but we're going to keep the level 1 and 2 and 3 classes close to the sleeve, so to speak. So, okay, very good. The Oracle deck, we are almost enough. We have almost enough pre-orders to pull the trigger on the Oracle deck, physical deck. And then once that order comes in, it'll go out to all the pre-orders first and foremost, and then it'll just be however many supplies last. And it won't be a long run, so those with pre-orders definitely will get their deck, and the rest will be as supplies last. So we'll post any information about that on our website, jadonse.com. It's jadonse.com. And for those of you who can't wait for the physical deck, we do have the app. It is available on the Apple and Google Play Store app stores. And just do a search for Golden Dragon Oracle deck. And that deck has Jadon Se's channeled voice for each card, for the guidance for each card. And a lot of people really appreciate having that in their pocket. Okay, that's it for announcements. Let's see. Stephanie, do you have anything?
Uh, Not that I can think of.
Okay. All right. Well, we're just going to go ahead and tune in and just get started. Well, thank you very much for the super chat. I think that was Hadar. Thank you very much. We really very much appreciate the support. It helps us to keep going, and it also helps us to offer, donation-free services to those who are having financial difficulties. So thank you very much. And so just so everyone knows, those suggested donations really truly are just so suggested donations. We are not here to make money. We're just here to support you guys, and it helps us to sustain that support. We do, actually have bills to pay. So thank you very much. And those of you who are donating, it's also okay to go above the suggested donation if you're, in a time of abundance, because you can help support those who don't have any donations to make. So thank you for everyone for your generous support and help. And it also helps us a lot if you like and subscribe to our YouTube videos. And after each live, if you're on a mobile device and you swipe, I think you just swipe the comments down to the left or something like that, there's a button that'll pop up that's called hype. So if you guys can hype our live streams after we're completed. If you're on a mobile device, that also really helps to get us out to a greater audience, which, lets us to be more of service. Thank you very much for all your support, everyone. Okay, so let's give some shout outs before we bring in Jadon Se. Let's see. Stephanie, would you like to shout us out?
Okay, let's see where we're at. I see Tyrol, Austria. I see greetings from Massachusetts. Folsom, California. Welcome, everyone. Hi from Faro, Portugal. And good evening from Holland and Utah. And we got Berkeley, California. And I see Long Beach, California, Groves, Texas, Amsterdam, and Netherlands. The Netherlands. And Blue Ridge Mountains, North Carolina, Long Island, New York. Wow, very nice. And Canada. That's just exciting.
All right, I see Queensland, Australia, South Africa, Ankara, Turkey. I'm going to back up because I think we might have some
North
of them
Bend,
might.
Oregon, of course, my mother. Hello. Welcome, Mom.
Very good. So we're having quite a nice little gathering, and hopefully you guys are starting to understand that you can feel the others tuning in, that like-minded light workers who are concentrating on something together, what it does is it amplifies what we're doing. And it's just absolutely amazing how we can feel it. Sometimes, as we're getting ready, doing the sound check and just getting ready to tune in, it's kind of like you can feel the presence. You can feel, the gathering. And so it's anyway, we really do look forward to that. It's very important to us every week to feel those the supportive energies of everyone. So thank you all for gathering with us, and let's go ahead and go into channel, and we'll see what Jadon Se has for everyone. And again, every week, if you give your permission, Jadon Se will incorporate you in the weekly reading. He'll incorporate your energies. So you just have to give your inward permission for Jadon Se to access your energetics. Otherwise, it's fine. He just won't incorporate you and what's going on with you into the reading, and that's fine as well. So we always suggest that everyone operate like a spiritual hygiene and only allow in energies that are of service to you, appropriate for the highest good in the eyes of the highest divine. Okay, so here comes Jadon Se. I am Jadon Se, Golden Dragon of the Third Arc of Consciousness, and this is another gathering of blessings from the Dragon. We do this every Wednesday at 11:11 a.m. in your Pacific time, in your way of reckoning. Dear ones, it is a beautiful gathering of like-minded light workers, you might say. There is no coincidence that you are all working with dragon energies and interested in the mutterings and musings of this cosmic golden dragon coming through your terrestrial Stephen and Stephanie. It is our pleasure to be here and to help in any way and be of assistance for the greater ascension. This is our purpose for being here. And dear ones, speaking of the ascension, these times are very potent. Let us just say that right now your prayers are being answered more quickly and in a more of a pronounced way than they have before. You will see, and many of you are seeing already, that your intentions, your building of your dreams, identifying and really feeling the beauty of your highest ideals is accelerating their appearance here in this realm of beingness. And because of this, some of you are starting to feel a bit magical, let us say. I have this ability to call in new realities. Dear ones, every one of you has had that ability since you were born. It is simply that it has been conditioned upon you to internalize this ability into something you might call your subconscious, your belief system. And unfortunately, many of you have been harboring very limiting belief systems. And as you tweak these and re-examine them and look at them and lovingly dismiss those that no longer serve, your ideals, your highest dreams, dear ones, are coming to pass much more easily. There is new support for them, it seems. There has always been support for them. However, as you get out of your own way, dear ones, you begin to become more coherent in the way that you, what is this word? Perhaps the best word for this is pray. For many of you have an understanding of what this is to pray. It is not just to have a mental affirmation or to write some note for yourself on the bathroom wall to gaze at every morning. It goes deeper than this, dear ones. They are not simply dry mental affirmations. Prayer goes much deeper. It comes from a deeper part of you, you might say. Yes, dear ones, prayer does resonate through mental structures. Your heart-mind structure is the one that, let us say, resonates and sends it forth the most clearly. And so, therefore, when your heart and your mind are working together in tandem and have this beautiful relationship like that of best friends, and you identify your ideal, your highest, greatest good, your dreams, and speak these dreams, either inwardly or out loud. I choose the world where, and then you speak your dreams. And dear ones, when you feel it, especially when you get to feeling a sense that it is being done, that it is already nearing completion even. If you can understand that if it is already in your thoughts and in your heart as something you wish to call forth, then it is truly already in your field and has been prepared and is just awaiting the final ribbon cutting, so to speak. Maybe the ribbon cutting ceremony of your dreams. Let us just say that it is when you have this beautiful loving gathering of your own energies within, and they line up with that which you are calling in, especially emotionally, and you can feel deep gratitude for them being prepared for you. This is the energetic that is most effective at calling forth the greatest, highest good. Again, dear ones, we have instructed and counseled you to make a habit of calling in anything for the highest, greatest good in the eyes of the highest divine. And this way, you can assure that, and you can also say this or better and as appropriate. Those words, all of these, let your higher, greater self optimize these ideals even greater, for no one knows you better than your own greater higher self. Or if you all prefer God, the Tao, Buddha, etc., you can insert your own words, your own resonance with this. No one knows you better than the divine, you might say. And when you allow for this or better as appropriate, you are even giving further guidance for the highest, greatest good to happen. For so many of you aim low, dear ones. You dream a little small. Why is this? Because you are not used to even thinking that the highest ideal is within your grasp. You have been conditioned to think that these higher, loftier ideals are always beyond your grasp. Dear ones, they are not. There is nothing that is held back by the divine from the highest, greatest good for all. It is only your own self-limitations that you are shedding, let us say. Dear ones, while we speak of this shedding of limitations, this is a good time to prioritize your self-care. Dear ones, We have said this before. A nurse in a hospital that works 20 hours straight with no rest or break is likely to collapse or make a medical mistake and harm a patient. And so, the first and foremost thing for any good light worker, anyone who is operating for the highest, greatest good, is self-care. For you must take care of your own needs and sustenance so that you may be of service to others. And you will not be of service long if you neglect your own self. So let us make this a time period, dear ones, of self-care. Relax, recharge, read a good book, take a break, dear ones. Don't be so serious all the time. It is okay for you to be off the clock, so to speak, for a time to just enjoy whatever it is that you are called to enjoy. The beach, or the company of loved ones, or your pets, or your beautiful Gaia, any maybe a good book, or even just sitting in front of some device and watching silly videos, or whatever it is that you need to recharge. Dear ones, eat well. Your own political structures are finally coming around to publishing updated nutritional guidelines after decades of giving bad advice, we will say. And it is so important to eat simple, wholesome foods, dear ones. Respect that beautiful instrument that is your body, that beautiful divine and biological computer machine and loving friend and wardrobe of beingness. Yes, dear ones, your form. Sustain it in the best ways you know. If you're moving beyond food and into being a breathitarian, then soak in the greatest light that you can, the purest, most beneficial light, and breathe the cleanest, most beneficial air. And if you're not yet a breathitarian, and it takes deep understanding to reach that state of being able to forego food altogether and get your sustenance from the light and the air, the very air you breathe. If you are not yet there, enjoy your food, dear ones. And it is not important to be a vegetarian or a vegan. However, if that is correct for you, it can be a bridge into becoming this breathitarian ideal. And this does not mean you must give up the enjoyment of eating, dear ones. In one of our previous sessions, a question came out that do those who live in 5, 6D and above, so to speak, do they still eat, or can they eat? And yes, dear ones, many do eat. It is just not eating something that is the leftovers of a life form. It is not something being that has to give up its life to that sort of food. It is more of a divine version of a hamburger or a filet mignon or a teriyaki chicken or whatever it is. You can have this meal without killing anything. It can be done, dear ones. So let us just not judge food. Let us just lovingly thank it for how far along it has brought us in understanding the beauty of existence on various different dimensional levels and states of being, and judging and looking down upon any of those experiences belittles them, and you run the risk of losing the gifts that come with those experiences. So, dear ones, it is also very important in this energetic right now for each of you to recognize signs from your greater higher beingness, or you might say signs from the divine, or you might say signs from above. It depends on how you like to think of these things, but please, dear ones, recognize the loving guidance, the loving confirmations, the loving care and little taps on the shoulder, so to speak, from your greater higher self, from the highest divine, from your higher good, from the angels, from your dragons and loving guides and spirit guides, and know that they are always present, dear ones, always ready to assist. And so long as you're calling in assistance from the highest divine for the greatest, highest good. These assistances will be good, dear ones, and will be appropriate to what you need or what you are missing or neglecting or something that might be of interest to you. Dear ones, there is always this sort of support, these signs from above, so to speak. Tune into this, and in this time, all of these are coming into play together, dear ones. Prayer, or whatever your equivalent is of prayer, deep dream building affirmation, but not just mental, beautiful heartfelt dreams and prayers from the heart. Dear ones, your self-care coming into play with this and sustaining and uplifting these beautiful dreams, and knowing that there are signs from the above, let us say, and beautiful the support all around you at this time. It all comes together in a grand, beautiful opportunity to simply aim higher, reach for the higher ideals for you, reach for the stars, you might say. It is within your capability. If you can dream it, you can achieve it, dear ones. Those are powerful words, and it is not just some trite aphorism or platitude. If you can dream it, you can achieve it, or you can experience it, or you can live it. This is the best way. It is not something you achieve or build, or it does not take sweat and assembly required, etc. Let us just say, if you can dream it, you can live it. And you do not need to micromanage the universe in how it comes about. Just know that it will and can. Beautiful, dear ones. This is a blessing in and of itself. The awareness that your highest, greatest good is within your grasp. This is a great blessing, dear ones. And some of you can actually let this in and truly embrace it at this moment. Those of you who feel a little squirmy about this, but wait, it just sounds so good and so easy, it's too good to be true. There are a few of you who are struggling a little. If it is so easy, why do I not see it? Just know that, dear ones, this is the work you are here to do, to remove those final limitations. They are self-imposed limitations, belief structures that you have incorporated into your beingness at some level, mostly subconscious, that can be consciously pulled up, examined, and lovingly optimized. Some of it restored to being part of your being, and some of it let go. You might need to let go of old belief systems in order to build your dreams. This is your work if you are feeling these resistances. And for those of you who are ready to embrace this, dreaming your highest ideals and bringing them to be, for those of you who are ready for this, just get better and better at using your heart and your feelings. Give deeper and deeper gratitude that it is so, or that it is coming, or that it is already prepared for you somewhere and you just have yet to discover it. And the more you can feel into this joy, this gratitude, this feeling of truth of this, the faster it will come. And yes, all of you, listen to the signs from above. They are coming without break. They are always around you. Just feel into them. And if some of the signs seem to be negative or foreboding or fear-based, these are not signs from above. Your guides and masters and angels, they will never, and I do mean never in this instance, instill fear in you. There is no such thing as the fear of God, or God-fearing is not a good, let us say, way of being, for fear is a shutting down. Fear is imposing limitations upon you. Fear is a contracting force that will, let us say, shut you off from the greater aspects of your own beingness for a time. And so just know that any signs that seem a little strange or odd or scary, These are not signs from above. Mm, mm. And if you are pop scared, so to speak, startled by something, do not necessarily conclude instantaneously that this startling occurrence is negative. Just let it be a call to awareness, a call to alertness, and gaze into that which startled you. And perhaps it is not a fearful thing. Perhaps it was just, instead of a little gentle tap on the shoulder, perhaps it was a pinch on your bottom or something like this, lovingly from the divine. Sometimes these fairy energies come through. You might feel a little bit of playfulness in the signs from above. It is okay. Just know that anything causing fear is more likely from your own beingness in the state of the way things are in today's world. Most of those that externally upheld and created fearfulness are mostly losing their balance and surrendering or contemplating their surrender to the light, let us say. So do not assume that there is some oppressive force out there trying to harm you. No, dear ones. The more you shine light, the more these old fears cannot even come near you. For the darkness cannot drown out the light, and the darkness must retreat from bright light. It is a universal truth. Shine more light, and do not even give any thought of the darkness. In these times, we are moving into times of greater and greater brightness and goodness and justice and love and truth and transparency, wisdom, dear ones, loving kindness. Yes, dear ones, this is the time we are moving into. Hold your chins high and let this be a blessing to you on this day. Beautiful, dear ones.
Okay, let's see. Do I have to click it twice? Okay, I see Home John is asking, breathitarian, is that another word we once had? That's new to me.
Dear ones, there are thousands of beings upon this world right now, today. Yes, you might consider them to be 4D beings walking amongst you, for they have moved beyond your standard, let us say, rules and regulations of 3D existence. However, they are still interacting with you and visible to you. There are thousands of what you might call breathitarians, those who have not let food pass their lips for months or even years and have moved beyond this. And this is a sign of moving more firmly into 4 and even into 5D as you like to reckon things. This is just a way of understanding that even the things that seem fundamental to existence here, eating, let us say, eating decaying biological material and organic matter, you might say, is no longer necessary for your sustenance. Yes, dear ones, humans and the human template, the divine human template, which many of you have not fully activated, is, let us say, capable of sustaining itself on light and air alone. It is not light and air alone. Each of these, you have to feel into them deeper to understand that there are divine energies that are riding upon these light and air that are of sustenance to you. And yes, dear ones, there are thousands who have not eaten in months or years amongst you right now. If you start to explore the breathitarians around you, they will start to turn up. It might be at your local gymnasium. It might be in your local city park. It might be you just run into someone who deems that you are ready to hear their truth, that they have not eaten food in months or years. And Many of them cannot eat food, and the moment they do, they will revert to that old way of being, and it will be a struggle for them. And some of them, dear ones, the ones moving beyond into your what you call 5D, living your dreams, creating worlds and living within them. These ones can manifest food instantaneously. It is, again, not food based on some being giving up its body, even if it is a blade of grass or a grain giving up its body. This is still destroying life in your way of reckoning, this old way of being. So even your vegans are terrible monsters in the eyes of plants. And so it is not that you are terrible monsters, but if you see things from this way, that I must destroy life in order to live myself, you can grow beyond this. And you only grow beyond it not by recoiling from this or being in judgment of it or being angry or thinking that those who eat food based on lives given bodies that have been given up, you cannot move beyond this if you judge this. And if you the more that you focus on it being wrong or something to look down upon, the more you are holding your own self back. That becomes like a lead weight on your shoes that holds you from moving higher. For when you carry judgment of others and other systems of being, you are not, let us say, light in your own beingness. You need to enlighten, and enlightenment is not coming from judgment ever. It is coming from acceptance of that which is, the various realms and the various rules of each realm of understanding and being. And let us just say you are surrounded by breathitarians.
I see Beth Geiger is asking, or she's saying, I saw rainbow colors in the clouds lately and have captured them in photo. Beautiful iridescent colors. What is the message from these cloud rainbows?
Dear ones, you are, many of you, becoming more and more aware of what you might call rainbow energies or auras, perhaps. You see these rainbow auras dancing around rocks and trees and hilltops and clouds. And dear ones, these are not new energies. This is nothing new coming into the world. What this is, dear ones, is your own awareness expanding. As your vibration rises, your more and more of your capabilities come online, so to speak. More and more of the divine human template is expressed. And all of you have the ability to see auras, to see these energies dancing around objects, and even, yes, wispy clouds in the sky. Some of you will say, oh, no, this is just a scientific thing. It is water vapor that is just refracting into these spectral, these splitting of colors into this color spectrum. And this is how a rainbow works. And it can be explained very physically. And yes, dear ones, this is true. On a physical level, all water has this ability to refract, let us say, to become a rainbow in some way. And yes, and there are rainbow energies. This is what is meant by rainbow Buddhas and rainbow beings and rainbow spirits. And it is because those who have beheld such beingnesses have themselves raised their vibration to a level where their sight is enhanced, you might say. It is not the physical eyes that are being enhanced. It is the greater awareness, and it presents as physical sight. It seems to be something that your eyes are decoding. Dear ones, it is your awareness. This is the beginnings of what you might call enhanced telepathy. For when you see auras, when you see these shimmering rainbow energies, sometimes they are colored energies. Sometimes you close your eyes and you see a rotating color, like a magenta or a green or something like this. This is not just your neurons firing randomly, and it is not just an illusion of the eye mechanism. No, dear ones, this is your own awareness developing. And as you develop it further, it becomes more and more clear to you. You see these energies more and more clearly, and as you do, you begin to appreciate not only beings and their auras. You appreciate the appearances of your Gaia and all of what makes her this beautiful shining being that she is. And you are seeing the auras of Gaia herself and the very elements that are present. And dear ones, just get used to it, because you can, if you wish, if these annoy you, seeing rainbows all the time, you can blink twice and they can be gone, and you can return to your regular 3 and 4D way of seeing if you wish. It is not something that will become a curse, seeing all these colors dancing all the time. However, this is your birthright. It is your ability to see into the energetics, the very energies of another being. And again, we mentioned this is the beginnings of telepathy, for it is a visual form of telepathy. You can use your own awareness on many different levels. Just feel into the beingness of another, and more will be revealed.
I see Home John is saying, I had 5 dragons appear on my apartment walls, including you, Jadon Se. That day you described your eye to us. Stephen's drawing of you. The eye is like a letter H. It's kind of interesting. Although the head shape is different, the eye's resemblance is so uncanny.
You have beheld one of my forms, and as we have said, this is beautiful when you begin to see dragons, not just your Jadon Se. Any dragon entering into your field, so to speak, means that you are inviting more and more the dragon energies to be present in your waking reality, let us say. And so long as you are calling these dragons in for the highest, greatest good in the eyes of the highest divine, this is a beautiful thing. For these dragons will come in support of you in so many different ways, or to nudge you to become more aware of something here or there, to take a fresh look at something, or to understand something a little more deeply. Generally speaking, to gain the storyteller's consciousness in decoding something in your life. For dragons are all about stories. You may have noticed that the graphic on this Blessings for the Dragon has changed, and the dragon is sitting on a hoard of treasure. There is no, let us say, coincidence to this. And yes, the dragon shown is wearing a rainbow body, a rainbow form. These are not coincidences. We are talking of these things simply because it is an understanding that stories are the true treasure of eternity, and your story matters just as much as any precious, rare gem could ever matter. Your story is so unique and so beautiful in its own way that it is worthy of considering it a precious, precious, precious gift to eternity. And so there you have an understanding that these are ways of seeing, and this dragon's eye you speak of is just seeing things not through a circular pupil, not through a cat-like pupil that is just sort of an oblong or like an ellipse or elliptical sort of pupil. No, through this sort of H-shaped pupil. What is this? This shows the multi-dimensional nature of a dragon's sight. Dragons can see various different, let us say, spectral. The words do not exist for this. It is the dragons are multidimensional and have multidimensional sight and can see the pathways of eternity from any moment of now, branching out in various directions, not just a linear direction or expression. And so therefore the eyes of a dragon can be expressed in more like a star, like a radiance, where there are rays coming out out from the center, rays of possibility of beingness, and H is just the beginning. It could be like an asterisk where you have different rays of shapes going from the center point, and you see what we are saying here. And the reason why this your Jadon Se loves these sorts of eyes, especially that H configuration, is the H implies a polarity of thought and consciousness, and that you can choose paths that are upward paths that are not just one upward path, but let us say differing or upward and differing downward paths, that you are not limited to any one direction, and there is a consciousness behind this that guides your seeing and living and breathing into existence in a very, let us say, purposeful way. And when you move in a purposeful way, you are expressing greater and greater parts of you throughout these realms of eternity. It is thank you very much for noticing this and for seeing this. And yes, your Stephen has been making drawings of this eye as well, a little more detailed, and it is he is attempting to see into this way of seeing things as well. And perhaps your Stephen will share some of his drawings. They are not true to my true eye, but they are starting to go in the right direction. It is fun.
I see Eleanor is at 237. Dear Jadon Se, if our perceived reality is illusion, how do we access the true light intelligence from the ether?
Dear one, what is illusion? Now there is a question. Illusion. This is a word that has very deep mysteries encoded in it. Ill meaning incorrect or misunderstood. You might say illusion, Lucia. What is this? This illusion is, yes, dear ones, many of you are feeling into this. It is based upon light and truth. And so illusion is a false truth. It is a false sense of truth. And so it is just that, not that reality is false. It is that your sense of reality is incomplete. You have a false sense of knowing the truth where it is an incomplete truth. So it is not something to be dismissed as not real. It is something to be transcended, to see the greater truth that incorporates not only what seemed to be the truth, but that which is overarching and beyond it. And so the question then becomes, how do we access the true light intelligence from the ether? Dear ones, the ether itself, yes, it is beautiful. You have this understanding that in every iota of creation, spirit is. In every iota of even the void in your deepest meditations, the void is not empty. It may be a no-thingness, a nothingness. There may be no objects or things there. However, it is not empty. It is full, brimming with spirit, you would say. And so this true light intelligence from the ether that is referred to here is partially true in that every iota of creation is filled with spirit, this light, this intelligence, and it also comes from within you. It is not just out there around you. It is you. It bathes you. Every essence of you, every iota of your beingness is upheld and expressed through this very consciousness, this blessed awareness, you might say, the truth of is, I am that I am. Well, dear ones, when you hear these words, I am that I am, how much time do you spend looking at the word that? What is that? I am that I am. Dear ones, every that, every possible, imaginable that I am. Dear ones, the I am that I am is an initiation. It is not just a statement of fact that once you grasp these words, you know reality. It is an invitation to see things differently. When you look at anything you consider to be that, I'm looking at that. Does the word that not seem lifeless or dead or at least separated from you? And does it not feel like you are just gazing at it from the total gap of separation of some sort? This and then that, and that seems farther away, does it not? Dear ones, I am that I am. If you feel into this, and every that comes into your awareness becomes I am. And which I are we talking about? Well, there is another question. The I am that I am is an initiation. It is just the doorway, the portal to a path that you can follow into great wisdom. See things, see this light of intelligence, not as just out there in the ether. See it in every iota of existence, including your own thoughts.
I see Ozzy Donor. After last class at the dawn, I see image of Jadon Se on cloud. I believe that a dragon grid is created there.
Dear one, listen to this one here, this Hadar. He is not only seeing dragons in the clouds, he is making connections with why am I seeing a dragon in the cloud? What does it mean? Does it mean that there is a new node in the dragon grid, or that I have discovered some important place on the dragon grid? This is a gift to all of you. Do not stop at the first awareness. The first awareness, I see a dragon up there in the clouds. Your Hadar has gone past this. What does it mean? Why am I seeing a dragon in the clouds? What is in this? And he is feeling into this and feeling for himself in that moment that it is related to a dragon line or a dragon node of lines, let us say, a hub of different dragon lines or the dragon grid. Or do you understand, dear ones, that there is a gift in this question? The gift of looking again and looking deeper at any appearance in your awareness. Take a second look and look deeper, dear ones.
Okay, let's see. I see a Wendy is asking, can you talk about breast reconstruction due to I'm not sure how to say that word. Can you help me out there?
Mastectomy.
Okay. Due to breast cancer, I know it is related to heart chakra, but what is the spiritual growth that is happening?
Dear one, first of all, let each of us send a little love to this one who has had a body part removed, and let us send a little extra love and compassion for this one, for it is very close to home, let us say, when you have something like this occur, and it can be a catalyst for deep understanding. It can be positive in the grand arc of time. It can lead to wisdom. Yes, it can lead to many positive outcomes. And let us just see what is behind this question. Is it related to the heart chakra? What is the spiritual growth that is happening? Dear one, it would be a misservice for me to give you what you should be getting from this experience, what you should be awakening to. So therefore, we will just speak a little in riddles and act as a signpost to that which you may explore. And let us just say that There's no such thing as an accident. There is no such thing as a pathological illness that just afflicts someone. Every being is at some level agreeing to this experience for some reason, most of them hidden or deep. The best gifts are well wrapped, let us say, and even someone who has lost a loved one, especially their own child or a beloved pet or something like this, it is very hard to think of that as having some positivity to it or a gift wrapped within it. However, there is always a gift, dear ones. Some of the gifts are just very cleverly concealed, let us say. So, for this one who is experiencing this, let us just say that, yes, you are right on the right track. You are saying, I know it is related to the heart, to these feelings, dear one. And what is a spiritual growth? Well, follow that path you are already treading upon to find out more. And, dear ones, let us not belittle any pain or experience we have, any suffering or any sense of loss. Let us not just say, oh, your loved one is waiting for you on the other side of the veil. No, there is very real grief. There is very real emotion tied to the sense of loss that should not and cannot be belittled by some vague understanding that that other portion of your beingness is on some other side of the veil. So let us not belittle these experiences. The depth of emotion that comes from grieving and loss is in itself a gift to eternity. For the depth of emotion possible here in this density is so much more pronounced than it is in many other realms of eternity, because of these illusions and senses of separation and all of this. And dear ones, let us also just move a little into an awareness where we understand that there is something called the light body, the etheric body. If someone has lost a limb, say they have lost a leg, there are certain even technologies that if that person is scanned, the outline of their leg is still shown in the scan. And this amazes and befuddles scientists. There is an energetic field that still envelops something that is no longer physically present. The leg, it is the light body, is intact, has not lost the leg. The leg is still there. This is one of the many reasons there are phantom pains when you lose a limb. You feel like you still have that limb and it is hurting. It is your light body shining through, let us say, the lack of that limb being present in your 3D body. And so, dear one, your true form has not been damaged by this. Please know this. Your true form is radiant and clean and pure and undamaged. Spirit cannot be lopped into pieces. And so let us just at least console you that you have not truly lost anything of yourself. It is just the appearance of your body at this stage. And yes, dear ones, there are deep gifts in these experiences. Do not waste a good tragedy, let us say, by not finding the gift within it.
I see Rosa P. is asking, can we please do a grid work exercise with all of us, guided by Jadon Se? We could all say the same words for our region. Would this work?
Dear one, perhaps you would like to lead this grid work. Please provide the words that you would like us to all say. This is a beautiful form of leadership that you are stepping into, and we encourage this. Feel into your own beingness. What are these words that you would like all to say for the grid? If you wish, your Jadon Se can take over, but it is best if you continue with this, dear one. This is beautiful. Please put in the chat these words that you would like to say, and we will all have a beautiful grid work exercise, a blessing for the grid based upon these words. Dear one, do you realize that the thought behind this is beautiful? That you are yourself leading the upgrade of the grid with these intentions. You are calling in greater assistance from the grid. Indeed, this is beautiful. And if we see these words, we will do this exercise you are speaking of. Until then, we will move on to a new question.
Okay, let's see. I see Barno Berry Bats back 147 saying, I have a difficult day today, Jadon Se. Can we have some blessings of something from you, as I feel I could use the help to help myself this time around?
Dear one, a little soothing, needed like a balm upon your soul. Dear one, let us just say to you right now that the difficulty that you are experiencing is not there by coincidence. It is, let us say, a mirroring of an inner difficulty that you are having within yourself. And if you can see this, if you can turn your gaze within, what is this mirroring that is already inside of me? What are these difficulties that I am having showing me of some difficulty I carry within me? And you may come to actually thank that external difficulty, for it has turned you within to see something that you are ready to let go of. And let us give you an extra blessing that this understanding may come with ease and grace for the greatest, highest good of you in the eyes of the highest divine, as appropriate. Let this one with gracefulness understand the inner difficulty he is ready to release. There is your blessing, dear one.
Leslie Lightquista 130. Hi, Jadon Se. Is it selfish to use healing tools for one's own self? Please?
Dear ones, this is a very important question. Why is it so important? It is important first to understand what is selfishness. What is the truth of selfishness? There are two different words, two different meanings for this word, two different understandings underlying selfishness. The first and most commonly understood is putting one's sense of separate self first. If you think of yourself as a separate being, and let us say there are piles of valuable items, and you gather up a great pile for yourself, so much so that you do not leave very much for the others. This is the sort of separate selfishness that we speak of as a negative aspect of beingness. And let us just say that this sort of sense of separation is the difference between this selfishness and a selfishness where you are less feeling separate from others, however, also acknowledging your own well-beingness. And if you are realizing that you can only be of greater service by being healthy, then is it that first type of selfishness to heal yourself? Most of you will say no. It is only those who are operating in a sense of separation and grabbing up something for themselves, not to be of service to others, but only to be of service to their own pleasures or their own, let us say, anything that enhances that that sense of self. These words are difficult, Stephen. Reset. Very good. Anything that enhances this sense of separation is the first type of selfishness. And anything that enhances service to others, including your own beingness, for you must include your own beingness with others if there is no separation. Anything that enhances your ability to serve the greater good is not that first type of selfishness. So, I think this question has already been answered. If you heal yourself, again, the nurse who works 30 hours straight and then passes out on the job is not being of service to all of those patients. Therefore, that nurse needs to take care of his or her own body to be able to be of service. So if you turn your healing tools on your own beingness, there are two reasons why this can be of service to others. One is you are confirming to your own self that this is possible and that healing is possible. Therefore, it makes it a confirmation that makes you a better healing of others, or an assistant to the healing of others is a truer way of saying this. And also, there is only healing oneself. Even if you are healing another, it is not you that is healing another. You are simply giving another an off ramp from suffering. They must take the off ramp. They must make the decision to get well. They must trust that whatever therapy you are offering will make them better. It is not you who makes them better, or even your therapy. It is their belief in it. And so therefore only beings heal themselves. Healing only happens for oneself. And so long as you are operating in service to others, there is no selfishness in any sort of healing.
BN4483 is asking, Jadon Se, could you please tell us about our animal friends and the ones close to us with dragon energy, especially cats and horses? Thank you very much.
Dear ones, it is beautiful to draw this understanding, this distinction, and at the same time overlap, let us say, between certain animals and dragons. And it is also equally beautiful that you have included the word friends. For is it not those that are beloved to you that you consider to be your friends, beloved in some way, something that you deeply appreciate about another, and the closest friend that you have has so many things that you deeply appreciate about them. These are deep connections that you form. And so you are wondering about dragon energies coming through cats and horses. Yes, they come through birds and all sorts of different animals, dear ones. Let us just say that beings are multidimensional, and there are many beings who appear in one form but carry strong energies from greater portions of their self with a capital S shining through them. There is one cat in this household of Stephen and Stephanie's that is often called a dragon. She is like this rugby ball with feet or legs or something. She is this big, great cat who is not overfed but still manages to be this big presence, and her eyes look so wise and knowing, and the way she looks at you, it is not like a cat. It is like there is this dragon laying there on the bed or on the couch or something, gazing upon you, and there's a pronounced dragon energy coming through this one, and it is quite obvious even. And yes, dear ones, we look at eyes as the windows to the soul, and eyes can show us so much, and the greater beingness of the body language and just the appearance and the energetic of a being can carry so many, let us say, clues as to the true spirit of that being. And yes, oftentimes spirits who are highly draconic, you might say, are, let us say, have the habit of appearing as dragons and love the dragon energies and are very familiar with being dragons. Those spirits often will come as cats or horses or birds or, yes, many different beings even. And depictions of dragons often have a very horse-like head to them, and cat-like eyes. And do you see how these are links that you make within your own beingness, calling in these energies in different ways? And the most important thing in your question is when you said animal friends, for this is the link that is enabling you to feel the dragon energies. So if you make a deep connection with a horse, you will get to see more easily whether or not there is a dragon in a horse's body standing before you. Beautiful.
Don't see anything right now.
Did this one, Rosa, do you wish to speak those words? We have our David is saying health and restoration, could be the words that could be used. Very good. We will take this as a co-leadership between your Rosa and your David, home drawn. Her suggestion that we speak these words into the dragon grid and therefore bless the world through the dragon grid. Your Rosa is typing up something. Yes, almost there. Well, we will incorporate also your home drawn's health and restoration. So, yes, Rosa, please do this. And dragon also means to stare. Interesting jargon there. Dragon jargon. It is. There are many meanings in words, yes, and looking deeply into them is always advisable. Very good. So, your Rosa, we will give you a little more time to gather your blessing together. And while we are waiting for that, we are going to move forward with Home Drawn's health and restoration. So right now, in this moment of now, each of you listening to this, put down anything that is in your hands and close your eyes. Right now, feel into the dragon lines, either just beneath your feet or any that you are familiar with. If you feel that you are not in an area with dragon lines, then simply remember the last time you were in a pronounced draconic area, some sort of dragon energies. Let us remember a beautiful and connect with a beautiful dragon node of our own in this moment of now with our eyes closed, nothing in our hands, and let us into this place, this beautiful dragon node or dragon line or sacred dragon site, let us put in the words that we were given by your David, and those words are health and restoration. So right now, let us take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, health and restoration. Breathe it with your dragon's breath into the dragon line. So breathe in and exhale, health and restoration. You may do this 2 more times in your own timing. For when you do a trinity of these breaths, it enhances the power. And do you feel this, dear ones? Do you feel these linking energies? It is like playing a guitar string, and that string starts to hum. And if you imagine a shop of guitars, like with all of these guitars leaning up against a big wall, and somebody plays a note on one guitar, and all these other guitars start to hum with that note. Sympathetic vibration, sympathetic resonance. One dragon line, not only does it transmit and transport energies up and down that line, it resonates the dragon line, and that dragon line in turn resonates all other dragon lines. It is like a great ringing of a bell, and your Gaia begins to hum and buzz and resonate to that thought, that beautiful note that was inserted into that guitar string, so to speak. Each and every one of you putting in health and restoration. This is now reverberating in the entire globe, for you did this consciously, operating the dragon lines. Do you not see that you are being taught by your Rosa and your David how to operate the dragon grid? You do it with love and thought and feeling and all of this, and breath. Breath is very important, dear ones. You are now dragon node keepers. Each and every one of you who has worked on this in this moment has confirmed that you are dragon keepers. It is beautiful. Do this with love and understanding. We will do this more often now that it has been, let us say, hatched by these beautiful beings here.
Okay. I see Beth Geiger. Is there any relevance with dragon lines in the golden seraphim earth grid being restored?
Dear one, this is a beautiful question, for the question behind the question is, are these grid lines one and of the same? Is what we have heard of as ley lines, or the crystalline grid of Gaia, or these seraphim golden grid lines, or the seraphim earth grid, you might say, are they different grids, or are they one and the same? And the answers are yes, yes, and yes. They are the same. They are overlapping. They are interacting with each other. And yes, they are distinct in and of themselves, and they have their own energetics that they lovingly bring to the party, you might say. It is like saying, is any one instrument in the orchestra separate from the orchestra? Yes, and it is also part and parcel of the orchestra, and it is also maybe even a key instrument in the orchestra, where that beautiful song or piece that is being played by the orchestra would not be the same without the oboe, or without the trumpet, or the flute, or any of these beautiful instruments. You may think of these various grids as being different instruments in that very same one orchestra, and so they are overlapping, and they are complementary, and they interact with each other, and a note played with one of these instruments does have an effect on the whole orchestra. I hope you see how this works.
I I think Rosa's going to repost what she was posting.
You might wish to simplify it. If it's getting split, maybe be a little less wordy. If your David said 2 words and they were very effective, so it is not necessary for you to be lengthy in the words that you are injecting.
There it
Beautiful.
is. Okay, so let's see. So Rosa has the statement. Let's have Jadon Say speak it.
I pass the energy with the blessing of clearing dense energies and negativity. Let us just simplify this. For breathing this into the grid, you are passing the energy and you are blessing. So it is not even necessary to say these. So let us just do the same 3 deep breaths in a moment, and we will, on the exhale, we will breathe in, clearing dense energies and negativity into the dragon grids. So much easier to simplify. Let us prepare ourselves. You will be exhaling, clearing dense energies and negativity. So close our eyes, nothing in the hands. Deep breath in. On the exhale, clearing dense energies and negativity. And do this 2 more times, dear ones. Very good. And dear ones, there is no right or wrong speed to do this. Whatever is a clearing, cleansing, deep, beautiful breath for you is fine. There is no right or wrong way to do this. It is also beautiful whenever you are uttering a blessing. If the blessing includes what you are, the negative thing you are releasing, it is always good to also accompany that with the positive aspect that you are bringing in. So if you are clearing dense energies and negativity, then you are inserting higher energies, higher vibrations, and positivity. So let us do one more where we breathe in, inserting higher energies and positivity. So let us take a big, deep breath in, eyes closed and hands empty, inserting positive energies and positivity. Or insert forgive me, inserting higher energies and positivity. Let us do this. Inserting higher energies and positivity. And as you do this 2 more times, do you feel it, dear ones? Did you feel your hearts expand? Did you feel tinglings up and down your spine or goosebump energy? Do you see how when you're clearing negative energies, it has one effect, which is beautiful and helpful. And then when you are injecting the positive energies and the higher vibrations and love, do you feel how that has a much more powerful and pronounced effect? Many of you felt this, like these tinglings and yes, dear ones. It is always beautiful to, if you are focusing on getting rid of something negative, make sure that you're inserting the positive version of that. It is far more effective than releasing the negative. But they are both beautiful, dear ones. Thank you, both of you, for this. Your Rosa, for suggesting this. We will incorporate this more often now that you have brought this to light for those who are gathered. We thank you for this service, and your David for showing us beautiful ways to inject these energies as well into the dragon grids. We are going to close this session. It is now your 1228 in your Pacific time. And so we thank you all for gathering with us here and for bringing your light, your energy, your awareness, and your presence to this gathering. We look forward to seeing you very soon. Many of you in the Dragon Level 2 class, Dragon Energies Level 2 class on your Sunday. Regardless, we will see any of you who can gather with us on Saturday. Be blessed.
Even what about the shout outs? Do you want Jadon Say to have the shout outs at the end? See, all have
Ah,
joined, so we
mm,
can join heart
dear
rate
ones,
and.
we thank you so much, dearest Stephanie. She is always holding a beautiful, loving energy, and this loving energy lovingly reminded us that we sometimes close the session without shout outs, and this is one of the greatest parts of this gathering. So hopefully, not too many of you closed your browser or whatever this is, but those of you who are here, please shout out where on this Gaia you are. It is beautiful to close with this energy. It is beautiful that you have come to gather with us, and we thank you very much. Please shout out where in the world, where on this your Gaia you are in this moment of now, and let us feel those energies of your participation. We are in Belgium, Holdenburg, Belgium, beautiful Holland. We are in Colorado, Berkeley, California, Utah, Long Island, New York. Beautiful. Some of those who are on the other side of the world probably back to sleep. Massachusetts, Faro, Portugal, South Africa, Blue Ridge Mountains between Asheville and Cherokee in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Beautiful John Denver country. Southern Ontario, Canada, Queensland, Australia, Spain, Turkey, North Bend, Oregon. Beautiful. Do you feel each and every one of you has blessed your part of the dragon grid, and those energies are still reverberating? Groves, Texas, Amsterdam, Netherlands. Beautiful. Thank you so much to all of you who have gathered, and thank you to your beautiful and lovely and loving Stephanie for reminding us of this. Our favorite part of this gathering is this calling out, this energetic connection. Be well and be blessed, each and every one of you. And does your Stephanie have anything more to
No,
add?
just blessings and see you next time.
Thank you for joining us.